Episode 45. The voice wasn't old, but it carried a grating know-it-all tone that was instantly irritating. The speaker stood right beside Jia Tianlong, a dwarf, barely 3 feet tall. The dwarf was in his 40s, gaunt and wiry. He wore a red robe trimmed with gold thread, gold rings on his fingers, a thick gold chain around his neck, and several gold bells at his waist. When he opened his mouth to speak, a flash of gold shone from within. He clearly had gold teeth. He was the very picture of a nouveau riche.
He wore a look of utter impatience, clearly dissatisfied with Jia Tianlong's indecisiveness.
This dwarf, with his repulsive looks and the dress of a country bumpkin, dared to show such disrespect to Jia Tianlong, drawing furious glares from the loyal iron guards nearby. The dwarf noticed the iron guards' displeasure, but he just gave a cold, sneering laugh and ignored them completely.
Guildmaster Jia, you spent 3,000 taels of gold to have this humble one travel all the way from the Golden Light Temple. Surely you didn't bring me here just to have a look around. If there's someone you need me to deal with, just say it now. It's not the leader of the Seven Mysteries sect, is it? Such weak opponents. You could handle them yourself. Why waste a fortune hiring me?
The sect leader of the Seven Mysteries sect is not worth your trouble. I hired you to deal with his 3 martial uncles. Though they've been publicly declared dead for years, they've actually been in seclusion in a hidden chamber on Sunset Peak, undergoing a life-or-death meditation. Their power has likely reached the profound realm by now, far beyond what any ordinary master could handle. They are the Seven Mysteries sect's greatest reliance at this moment. Only you, sir, are capable of dealing with them.
Jia Tianlong didn't dare to be negligent. He had met this red-robed dwarf by chance at a certain temple near the border of the barbarian lands. The man called himself the Golden Light Immortal, claiming to possess boundless magic power, and had personally demonstrated the art of flying swords and the skill of an indestructible diamond body for him. Witnessing the power of these 2 spells firsthand left him utterly awestruck. He knew then that this man belonged to the legendary ranks of immortal cultivators, and a profound desire to forge a deep connection took root in his heart. Upon learning of the man's obsession with gold, he immediately showered him with vast sums of money and lavish flattery. His efforts finally paid off, securing a promise of assistance for a single occasion. Therefore, Jia Tianlong always treated the dwarf with the deference of a junior, never daring to show the slightest hint of disgust at his arrogance. He knew full well that the Golden Light Ascendant was not someone his little wild wolf gang could ever hope to oppose.
Just a few mortals. Leave them to me. No matter how profound their cultivation or how skilled their martial arts, they are no match for my flying sword technique. You have nothing to worry about.
Then I'll be counting on you, sir. I will not go back on the promised reward, and once the deed is done, I am willing to offer an additional 2,000 taels of gold as a token of my gratitude.
Upon hearing this, a faint smile appeared on Golden Light Superior's face, which was as dry and wrinkled as an orange peel. He gave a satisfied nod, clearly pleased with sect leader Jia's understanding. With the assurance of a mighty expert like Golden Light Master, Jia Tianlong hesitated no longer. He immediately ordered all members of the Wild Wolf Gang to ascend to the peak of Sunset Mountain, preparing to assault the Seven Mysteries sect's main hall, the Seven Mysteries Hall. With the sheer number of people flooding the peak, Jia Tianlong and his iron guards had to push and shove their way through the crowd to finally reach the front of the stone halls. Atop Sunset Peak, across dozens of acres of open ground, stood a cluster of stone halls built from massive blue-gray stone, 1 large, 6 small. Though the darkness and flickering torchlight obscured their full form, the sheer scale and imposing grandeur of the structures were enough to awe the newly arrived members of the Wild Wolf Gang and the other smaller sects. For a moment, they didn't launch an immediate assault. Instead, they encircled the stone halls, surrounding them completely.
The Seven Mysteries sect has been around for over 200 years. Their financial resources are simply beyond what my gang, which has only risen in the last decade or so, can compare to. What sheer, extravagant luxury.
Jia Tianlong had made up his mind. Once the Seven Mysteries sect was wiped out, he would move his headquarters here immediately. Such magnificent architecture was the only thing fitting for a regional overlord like him. Jia Tianlong looked at the dark entrance of the main hall opposite him, then at his subordinates around him, and finally raised his right hand slowly. In an instant, the entire Sunset Peak fell deathly silent. Every eye was fixed on that raised hand. They knew that once this hand fell, the brutal battle to annihilate the Seven Mysteries sect's main hall would begin.
Hold.
At that very moment, a cold voice rang out from the entrance to the main hall, followed by the sound of rhythmic footsteps echoing from within, growing clearer and clearer. Finally, a middle-aged man in white robes appeared at the entrance. A simple wooden hairpin held his hair in place. His attire was spare, bearing only a single longsword in a white scabbard. His face was deathly pale, yet his eyes burned with an intense, piercing light. Wherever his gaze fell, it stabbed like a sharpened blade, chilling the soul. He stopped several yards from the entrance and slowly surveyed the crowd encircling him, his face showing not a trace of fear. Finally, his gaze settled on Jia Tianlong's upraised right hand. Then it shifted from the palm to the man's face.
Ji Tianlong.
Wang Juchu. As leaders of our respective factions, this is actually the first time I've laid eyes on you in person. My dear Sectmaster Wang, coming here all alone. Could it be you're here to surrender?
That's right. I've come to discuss the terms of surrender.
You're really planning to surrender?
Surrender, yes. But which of us will be surrendering to the other? That remains to be seen.
What do you mean by that?
Jia Tianlong's face darkened. He then waved his hand, signaling for an encirclement.
His iron guards surged forward, encircling Wang Juchu in a half-moon formation. In one fluid motion, they drew their heavy crossbows from their backs, leveling the cold, glinting arrowheads directly at him.
A single command from Jia Tianlong, and they would unleash a hail of bolts without hesitation, cutting Wang Juchu down where he stood.
Yet Sectmaster Wang Juchu paid no heed to the crossbows, his tone carrying a sinister, threatening edge.
Did you truly believe that after moving our main hall to Sunset Peak, we never once considered the possibility of an enemy invasion we couldn't withstand? It was the 7th generation Sectmaster, Master Li, who relocated our sect to this place. He was not only a man of great vision and talent, but also a master of architecture and mechanical arts, a true genius of his generation. Sectmaster Li chose Sunset Peak as the site for our main headquarters for 2 reasons. First, the mountain's treacherous terrain makes it easy to defend and difficult to attack, an ideal defensive stronghold. Second, within the mountain's core lies a natural sinkhole, a vast cavernous space formed by nature itself. This cave is astonishingly huge, occupying nearly 2/3 of the entire interior of Sunset Peak. Seeing this, Sectmaster Li devised a plan. Using his knowledge of earthworks and the terrain of the stone cavern, he turned the entire mountain into a massive natural trap. Now, all it takes is for someone to trigger the preset mechanism, and the entire mountain peak will instantly collapse, burying everyone on it.
With that, Sectmaster Wang fell silent, sweeping his gaze, as frigid as if looking upon the dead, across the dark, seething mass of people before him. Jia Tianlong was momentarily stunned by the words. He naturally didn't believe a word of it, but for the moment he was at a loss for how to counter the threat. The others on the peak who had heard the words couldn't help but stir, whispering amongst themselves.
A trap? There's a trap? Is that for real?
I'm afraid it's true. They've been building up their momentum for so long, it's entirely possible there's a trap.
Oh no. What do we do? Are we really going to die here today?
Not me.
The more alert ones even began to edge toward the only path down the mountain, ready to bolt at the first sign of trouble.
Silence! Anyone who moves or makes a sound will be executed.
Jia Tianlong quickly regained his composure. He was furious to see his own men thrown into chaos by the enemy's mere words.
After executing several cowardly soldiers who tried to flee, the rest were cowed, and the unrest subsided. But Jie Tianlong knew perfectly well that this calm was only temporary. If he couldn't quickly prove the other party's words were lies, then neither his own gang members nor those from the other factions would stay here with peace of mind. At the slightest sign of trouble, they'd all scatter and flee.
You don't honestly think we'll believe you just because you say so, do you?
Of course not. I have plenty of evidence. You'll see it with your own eyes. But listen well. If anyone, after seeing my proof, attempts to flee this place or continues the assault, I will order all the mechanisms activated. We will all perish together.
Jie Tianlong scrutinized Wang Juchu's expression, trying to find a flaw. Yet the man opposite him maintained an icy, unreadable face, revealing nothing, not a trace of guilt or hesitation. This made Jie Tianlong start to wonder. Could it be he wasn't lying after all?
Could there really be such a ruthless final gambit?
Activate the second mechanism.
Wang Juchu suddenly turned his head and barked an order toward the main hall. Then he twisted his face away, fixing his gaze on a smaller stone building and ignoring Jia Tianlong entirely.
Seeing himself so blatantly disrespected, Jia Tianlong flew into a fury.
If his evidence doesn't satisfy me, I'll order my men to turn him into a human pincushion right here and now.
Wang Juchu's intense focus on the strange stone hall also caught the attention of the Wild Wolf Gang. Their gazes were drawn to the same spot, eager to see what unusual event might unfold. While the Wild Wolf Gang members were all on edge, no one noticed that on the outer edge of the dark, packed crowd, two figures in broken water stream sect robes were keeping their heads down, whispering to each other.
Hanli, do you think what our sect master said is true or not? Could Sunset Peak really be hollow? I've been here a few times before. How come I never noticed anything strange? Could it be that Sect Master Wang is deceiving them just to buy time? Or...
One of the young men was chattering away to the other, who remained silent, clearly desperate for an explanation to clear up his confusion. These two were none other than Han Li and Li Feiyu, who had originally been on their way to Elder Li's residence.